Man, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't perfect. Ton to clean up, ton to improve on. But that was a 4-quarter battle by the Missouri State Bears. We talked about it in the locker room. You know, sometimes you're not executing all day, and then all of a sudden in critical situations when you really need it, you get it done, and that's what winners do. And I think it's been all about our approach. The guys have practiced out of their minds lately. They're focused. I'm excited for them to get a little bit of a breather. I don't think I've heard them cheer louder than when I told them to have tomorrow off. So excited to get some rest, get some recruiting in, get some fundamental work next week, and then get out to Illinois State.
Just to play from your quarterback at the very end, being able to keep that read option on third down, I'm sure you've said so much about him, but being able to put a drive together like that.
Yeah, they certainly didn't expect that. For Jacob to run in situations to end the game for us. Again, it's his football IQ is just tremendous. The way he sees the field and the way he understands that, you know, they were rushing 3 or 4 each time and leaving the middle of the field wide open. Take what they give you. He's a tremendous leader. The guys feed off of him. I don't think he's ever been playing better ball than he's playing right now, and I'm excited to watch it continue.
Coach, for a win like that, right, you're up 14 in the fourth quarter. You know the game's not over, but for it to, as you said, for your team to make plays like that in the final drive, right? Lance Mason for the second week in a row makes the deciding play. I mean, what do you say about the heart of this team to refocus and get back on track?
Yeah, that's a gritty win, man. And again, we talk about Missouri State Bears football for 4 quarters. We knew it was going to be a 4-quarter battle. Listen, guys, it doesn't matter what anybody's record is in the Valley. When it's a Valley football game, the fans can go on and buckle in because it's going to be a 4-quarter battle. And we got that done just to show our resiliency. Again, when they came charging back, you know, there was no lay down. The leaders on the team stepped up and were vocal about what it was going to take to win, and we got it done. Again, I can't talk enough about the locker room. You talk about player-led teams. You talk about teams that empower each other and have confidence in one another. That's something we haven't had around here in a long time. It's a true team.
First 3-game winning streak for you guys since 2021. How big of a momentum swing is this going into a bye week? 3-2, first time over 500 in a couple of years.
Yeah, it's big. We needed it for sure. But I think the one thing is we've got a lot of winners in that locker room, guys that have won championships, guys that have won at various places, and the sense of hunger is there, which is great. Yeah, we're cheering on going into a bye week, but getting the win, they're still hungry for more. I think that's the most exciting part because, yet again, you know, look at some numbers here and there. We still haven't put 4 quarters of elite football together, and that's a really good thing for us.
How big was Burkett's punt to pin him down to 3?
Oh, man, what a time to show up. We talk about hidden yardage and field position battles all the time, and what better than a captain, 3-time All-American than to show up when we need him the most. And that was, again, what I've been talking about over and over from the phone call I just took with media and talking to you guys now. Our players that we needed to make plays stepped up in the most critical moments, and that is leadership in itself.
And the receiver group, collectively, how have you seen them grow as you're 5 games into the season?
Yeah, I like the receivers room, and we played quite a few guys. Obviously, you know, Jacob is pretty fond of Hunter Wood, which is great, but he still distributes the football. You know, Key gets some looks, and Lance Mason has been tremendous. I like the way we're getting our tight ends involved because that limits some things that you can do defensively. And again, the way Jacob sees the whole field, it could be a whole first half that he doesn't see a target, and then the second half it's open because they're overplaying the first, second read, and he gets to his third read, which is, again, I'll stand on the table for Jacob Clark. I feel like we have one of the most elite quarterbacks in this league, or FCS, period.
What did you see on that final defensive stand? I mean, you guys weren't able to get off the field there for a little bit. There's that third down play that still a little questionable on that after seeing the replays, but being able to come up, that gave you guys enough time to be able to get the game-winning drive. Did you see step up there and when you guys hadn't been throughout the second half?
Yeah, when it came to the replay, I knew if it went to replay, we probably weren't going to get it. So we got ready for the next down. And again, the guys were smiling. They were talking spirited to each other. Finally, we were able to get a pressure to hit home. And I think a lot of our third down troubles, say on defense, we weren't doing a good enough job on first, second down and just efficient tackling, which caused some third and shorts. It's really tough to get off the field on third and short. I think we can continue to focus on winning first, second down and give us a little easier track on third down.
It seemed like going into the game, it seemed like Jacardia would be the one to go off about 200 yards, but you guys went right after secondary instead. What did you guys kind of see there?
Yeah, go with the winning hand. You know, I think that Coach Petrino is an elite play caller. I think he kind of knows what he wants to do. And one of the best things we do on offense is we take what the defense is giving. We don't try to just, you know, be stubborn enough to go run zone, run zone, run zone until you're off the field. You know, let's try to see what the defense is giving us and then be able to distribute the ball. And I think that, again, goes for having a quarterback that's been in our system for so long. He's got the mind of Coach Petrino, and he can get us into advantage checks that obviously make the difference in the game.
Just piggybacking off of Nick, there's wide open receivers running down the middle of the field. There's screen passes called at the right times. Just what do you notice in his play calling that, you know, you're lucky to have him here still, and we're all wondering when somebody's going to come try to take him, knock on wood.
Yeah, extremely lucky to have him. And I think when you come up in a household with one of the premier play callers in the country or world, you're going to learn a thing or two along the line. And the one thing that Nick does that I really like is he has courage. He's going to go for the throat. He's going to take shots. He's going to do things that puts points on the board when we need them most. And we're very lucky to have Nick. I think that he's done a tremendous job with our offensive staff. And not only that, but putting plans together that our players believe in. When it doesn't matter the calls. Your players have to believe that you're going to be open and understand where to go with the football, and it's been fun so far.
You know, you get the win, but you talk about not having that full game yet, and we still know there's 244 yards out on the ground. There's running the ball. You're calling a lot of passes, but not as efficient as you probably wanted at this point. Just what do you see from the defensive side trying to slow down the run, where the quarterback was able to break contain a few times, and time of possession they dominated, of course. Yeah,
that was an interesting. I felt like we were a little loose on some runs at times, maybe not as efficient tackling as we needed to be. But like I said, we got the stops when we needed them and when it counted. But those are things that we can continue to shore up. Again, I don't know. It's interesting. You go from, what did they have, 70 yards last week on the ground with the premier run game to letting some things get loose today. But I'm extremely proud of the way the defense battles and fights and plays hard for 4 straight quarters. Love the offense, what we're doing. We're explosive. We got great playmakers. Staff's doing a great job. Special teams was tremendous today. What a great day to be a Bear.
Coach, do you think this team last year could have won this game? Or do you think this year's team was a little older, a little wiser, a little more hungry like you talked about?
Yeah, I think we've grown. I think that we've talked about growth, maturity, all those different things. Still areas to improve on, but our leaders are older and more mature in the system, I think. I think they know who we are as a cultured program, and they live by those values. And when it's on the line, you hear those guys and you see those guys get up and get in some people's face about, hey, this is our football game. We're going to go win it right here, right now, and we got it done.
There are some times that you probably could have used P.J. Hall today.
Yeah, so he's got a lower extremity issue. All right, he should be back pretty soon. We're going to give him some rest over the bye week, but it's nothing significant.
Kind of layer good?
Yeah, that was a weird one too. I tried to give him a little breather and take the leg pads off, and he took a shot to the thigh, which probably would have killed a normal man. But Connor Lair's Superman, so he'll be back.
Just looking at how this season's played out as you head into a bye, that's 2 losses where you guys felt like you guys should have won there, but then you're able to put together some of these closer wins. Do you like where you're at, just kind of as the season's progressed and just heading into a bye week trying to figure some things out?
Yeah, I love where we're at. I think that both of those games that we lost, we still showed fight, showed ability to overcome adversity, and we got a lot of the things cleaned up. And the nice thing, no one wants to hear it, but the nice thing is about those losses, they were team losses. You know, offense, defense, special teams, there were moments that we all could have picked up the slack. But to answer your question more clearly, I love where we're at. Great time to be a Bear.